real estate in about three different markets almost daily. I love to look at Austin, Texas because, well, I'll never be able to afford to live there. I keep up with what's going on in Florida, and then I love to see what's going on here in McLean County when it comes to properties that are for sale. And she knows it better than anybody from Team Wycoff, Berkshire Hathaway's Amanda Wycoff. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How was your Thanksgiving?
I was just going to ask you the same thing.
I went to Florida and had Thanksgiving in a bar. I went and stayed at my mother's house. Her and my stepfather went on a cruise for their 40th wedding anniversary. I said, well, I'm coming down to use your house then.
That's lovely.
So I didn't turn on a television or a radio for 9 days.
Oh, gosh, that's heaven.
And I just went to thrift shops and kept the bars and restaurants in Southwest Florida open.
You must feel so reinvigorated.
It
just
was great.
Unplugging like that.
Thanksgiving morning, I went down to Fort Myers Beach and had breakfast in a bar staring at the Gulf of Mexico. It was just simple potatoes, eggs, and sausage.
Oh.
But I was sitting in an outdoor bar. There were guys, it was 8 in the morning, they're drinking beers. And
Yeah, baby.
It was fun. What did you do?
We went up to Quad Cities. My sister and her husband and new baby, Hannah, hosted for the very first time. And they bought their house a few years ago, and this is their first time really hosting Thanksgiving with the bird and everything, and they did a great job.
Hey, how does this work? How many siblings do you have?
I have two younger siblings, a boy and a girl.
Any house that they buy, are you their real estate agent? How does that work?
Well, I better darn well be.
So you do
that
even if it's out of your
Well,
market?
they're in Iowa. They're in Iowa. They're in Bettendorf, Davenport area. So when it came time for them to look, I, being the overprotective big sister and the realtor that I am, I interviewed a lot of realtors up there, and I've got a lot of connections throughout, the country with hooking people up because I just am very involved in the National Association of Realtors, so I know people everywhere. But I really grilled these people, and I found them a really good agent up there that they fell in love with, and he worked his tail off for them. And
so you couldn't do it because you're not licensed in Iowa?
Correct.
Okay. What about this other sibling? Where do they live?
They are renting a home right now. They just had a baby a couple months ago, little baby Veronica. So I think they're about to start looking.
Locally here?
Locally here.
And you're their agent?
Well, I better be. If they're not, we're going to have some problems. It would be very awkward.
I love it. Well, let's talk about what's happening here locally. How many units are for sale right now in Bloomington Normal?
Currently, 109.
All right. That's still well below what it was pre-pandemic levels. I mean, we're 90% off of where it was pre-pandemic.
Yes, and I sent you some stats. Look back at 2013, we were just under 1,200 homes. And so these graphs that I was looking at the other day, it's very different. It's just a different market. And, of course, now seasonally everything is going to be a little bit down, just because people are focusing on the holidays.
Right. People are hesitant to want to pack up their house before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, before the New Year. So this is a little bit of a lull.
But if someone calls me and says they want to buy a house, they're serious, because no one buys a house during the holidays unless they're really, really serious about it.
But you know what? As weird as the market has been since the pandemic, this may be a great time to buy and or sell a house. Like literally within the next 30 days may be an ideal time to sell a house.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't think about that. You think selfishly about the inconvenience of, well, then do we put up a tree and, we got the presents and people are going to be coming in and out of the house.
Your house shines at Christmas.
But you have to think, nobody else is going to be selling houses now, so you want to be the
There's
shining
no competition,
gem
yes.
on the market.
Yes, there's no competition, and everyone's house shines. If you decorate for Christmas, people are going to feel like, oh, this is home. That's where the Christmas tree goes. Everyone places their Christmas tree when they're looking at a house. Where does Christmas tree go?
Right. Gosh, that's so interesting.
And, the stats I also sent you, and if anyone wants to see them, they can always just, hit me up on my website, teamwycoff.com, and I'll send them to you. But the average price right now, 100% of asking.
Average price. See, now when you were in here a couple weeks ago, we chit-chatted, and the market was changing a little bit, and people were adding in that they wanted an inspection, and we were seeing a lot of price improvements.
I saw a few home warranties go through that the sellers were paying for the
But
buyers.
now you come in and you say you're going, the houses that you've been selling have been all for full ask pricing.
The average in McLean County, the average price is full asking, which is different than over the summer because it was over asking.
Right.
Okay, now for my buyers, I'm always trying to get them a deal. So I have had quite a bit of success recently in doing that.
Yeah.
But for my sellers, I always price things appropriately. So we should expect to get full ask, if not more.
So a lot of the conversations we have been having here during the open house segment is how basically tumultuous the market is, how much it has changed in the last 3 years due to COVID and a lot of aspects. It's going to be years, I would assume, before things get back to what it was like in 2018 and 2019. I would assume years, because there are lots of houses being built. There's plans, and they're organizing and buying lots of land, and they're announcing, oh, we're going to build 200 homes here. But you can't build a home overnight.
No, you can't.
So it's going to be years until we get back to 1,000 homes on the market regularly, right?
I would imagine so. And, it's interesting, the price of building a foundation even. I was just talking with my husband about this because he has a new construction that he's building right now, and we talk with the other builders and whatnot. And I used to build homes. So my average foundation cost was about $18,000 to $22,000 per home. And that's like digging and, the concrete and the whole kit and caboodle. There was a $100,000 basement that just went in. And the first one in town.
Okay, now,
recently.
Is that because of the price of the materials or the need of homes?
I think it is materials and combination labor.
Yeah.
Now this was like a 2,500 square foot ranch, so you figure when you build out, when you build wider, that's a bigger foundation, bigger roof, got to be more expensive. Yeah, smaller foundation. If you build higher, it's going to be cheaper.
Right. Right.
And of course, you get more bang for your buck when you build like a bi-level.
Yeah. What is the most popular style of house sold? I mean, there are a bunch of different options built over the last 50 years, 100 years in this community. What would you say is the most popular style of homes sold?
Well, I would say, may I answer two?
Yeah.
Two, yes. Okay. So, first, no one ever says I gotta have a bi-level. They say, I'm okay with bi-levels or absolutely not. Okay, so that's for that style of home. I'm thinking there's always going to be a market for a ranch, an all-brick ranch on a lake. I got one of those in my pocket right now, by the way. 1.5 stories. So that first floor master, because that appeals to both ranch buyers and 2-story buyers.
Yeah.
The 2-story is going to appeal to, I would say probably families, people who want to be on the same level as their children. 1.5 stories could be the people who maybe want a ranch, but the grandkids come and stay for a couple weekends a year. They want to have the space up there, or they have teenagers, that sort of thing. I would say those two styles of home are probably the most popular.
Yeah.
I always feel like I can always sell an all brick ranch on a lake.
Yeah.
That's why I built one.
Well, are there any homes on the market right now that you think people should pay attention to if they are in the mood to buy and move and close in the next 30, 45 days? Is there something recently listed that you think people should go and take a look at, or are we on hold right now?
I don't think we're on hold. I don't think we're on hold at all. I have a property at 18 Brookstone that is a fantastic buy, and it is a 2-story. It's a new construction, and it's just gorgeous. It's built beautifully. It has character. It has built-ins. I staged it. It's just wonderful, and it's in Brook Ridge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely take a look at that one. We're actually going to be taking that one off the market for the holidays, but putting it on the private listing market. That's a strategy that I like to use. So that's when realtors can actually search for it for their buyers, and it will come up. So we want to telegraph that we do want to sell still, but we'd also like to, if for some reason the market does slow down over the holidays, which, it might, that's what we were predicting, then we will show up as a new listing here come the day after Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, I'm getting some questions here. Listeners want to know, They are building a new house in another state.
Okay.
It is scheduled to be ready to move in March or April.
Okay.
They want to know when they should list the house that they currently live in to get it all to time out perfectly.
Ooh, okay, so March. March is when they're moving in.
March
Early
is when
March?
the house is set, scheduled to be done. As you know, it's November, and they're saying March, but, things can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're putting drywall up and everything right now. So when should they list the house that they currently live in before they move into the new one?
Well, clearly they don't need to sell their house in order to buy because they're actually under contract to build this house. So they're probably going to want a little bit of time to move in. So we're going to say maybe end of March. Give them 30 days to move in and get settled. How is their decor in their current home? Would it show better vacant? Or, are they clutter bugs or are...
I'm going to say they are not clutter bugs.
Okay, that's very nice of you to say because they're listening right now. So I would say probably early February would be where I would go. Figure out a 30 to 45 day close.
All right.
That's what I would do, and do your best to do the decluttering, get packing, get a storage unit if you can. Do all the stuff. And to get it ready. When you're taking down your Christmas decorations, start taking down those personal photos.
Well, let me ask you this question. Should they have the photos of their home taken while the Christmas tree's up and decorations are up?
Oh, that's fine. I actually did that last year on a property in Old Farm Lakes and just edited it all out. Because we were going to hit the market first week in January, but we didn't want to waste the time, to take the photos and have me edit them and everything. Right. So I just took them in advance and started plugging it away behind the scenes after I edited everything out. There's so many things you can do with, editing these days.
All right.
You look at photos all day long.
Oh, for sure. You can see the real estate agents that are talented and the ones that aren't. You can see ugly photos listed, and then you can see photos that make it look like the most pristine, beautiful home that you've ever seen in your life. And it has the capability and ability to be that way if it's not, but you've got to show it off. You've got to make people fall in love with the home. You eat with your eyes first.
Yes, I want to make it look like it's a magazine cover, that it belongs on House Beautiful.
Better Homes and Gardens.
Yes, but the problem is, you got to make it look realistic too. And I think that a lot of agents recently, throughout the country, were able to get away with taking really horrible photos. And those photos that they're in their car and they take it with their cell phone and you see their thumb and then maybe the side mirror.
Or see them in the mirror in the bathroom.
Oh my God, that's so much.
Bedroom.
Oh, I caught one the other day where there's like that triple mirror,
Right.
and the agents in all three of them. It was so good. It was so good. I love bad real estate photos, but they could have gotten away with that. But I never wanted to do that. I just always wanted to give it my best because those photos are going to be around forever.
Right.
All
right, if somebody wants to get in touch with Team Wycoff, if they want to talk to you or anybody on your team to sell, to buy, to go looking, how do they get in touch with you and your team?
We'd be so honored for a call. You can call me at 309-242-2647 or just go to the website. It's very easy just to fill out a little form and let us know that you want to call, or if you are a buyer or a seller, you can fill out all the information. We'll get in touch with you right away. That's teamwycoff.com. Team, like a sports team, WYCOFF, like friendlyface.com. Notice the change? Not for a try anymore.
You don't like French fries anymore?
Well, I just want to try it once. WYCOFF, like friendly face. That's hard to say. French fries better.
Everybody knows a French fry. Some people don't know a friendly face. All right, Amanda Wycoff, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, it's FM 102.1. It's AM 1230 WJBC.